The bizarre case of two Niagara Regional Police officers who turned on each other is set to be heard in court tomorrow. Constable Nathan Parker was shot several times by his colleague Shane Donovan in 2018, but Parker is the one standing trial tomorrow for assault. As Kelly Botelho tells us, court proceedings were supposed to start today, but were postponed 24 hours.
On November 29, 2018, Detective Sergeant Shane Donovan, a 20-year member of the Niagara Regional Police Service, was investigating a collision in Pelham. Nathan Parker, a constable with the service for 28 years, was working at that scene too. But then there was some sort of fight between the officers. One thing led to the next, and Donovan shot Parker multiple times. The SIU took over the investigation at the time.
The relationship between the officers is part of the SIU's investigation. I can only tell you that there was an altercation and a firearm was discharged and one officer was struck.
The SIU ended up laying charges against Donovan, the officer that shot Parker, including attempted murder. But the Crown later dropped them, a very unusual move according to defense attorney Ari Goldkind.
That's a really interesting twist that didn't even go to trial. That tells me the prosecutor said no judge and no jury is going to be sympathetic to Parker's case.
Instead, Parker, the officer who was sent to hospital in serious condition with bullet wounds that day, was charged with assault.
Here's a supervising police officer shooting a fellow police officer 10 times. Immediately, people's eyes would roll. But then you start digging into Parker's past, the fact that he's known to be violent, known to use excessive force. His own police force has brought him on charges multiple times.
Parker has been disciplined several times for sometimes violent acts, like pepper spraying a teen who was handcuffed, pulling someone off a bike without cause, and becoming violent after a man laughed while the officer testified about a parking ticket.
They put me on my knees and Parker just smashed me in the face twice. And I thought I was dead because my hands are still in the handcuffs.
That case went to the Supreme Court, and 10 years later, the victim, Wayne Penner, won. Parker's trial begins virtually tomorrow. Kelly Botelho, CHCH News.